Hi, welcome to the Rant. I'm John Shannon. Been a little under the weather the last couple of days. That's why I've just kind of been submitting sloppy stuff on my YouTube channel. Kind of seems like the last thing I sent got under some skin. I even lost a subscriber over it. Yeah, I have so few subscribers I can tell when I lose one. So I feel bad about that, but it was what come to my mind at the time. Um, so I don't apologize for anything I do on this. Um, if you like what you see, what I'm putting out there, sometimes I'm going to cross the line, and that's just the way it is. Today, actually, this has been bugging me for a while, but I've been too under the weather, and I'm still not feeling great. Boo hoo. But I got to tell you that concerns me. One of the things that concerns me a lot, especially coming into this upcoming election, is the way we prioritize the information we get. I want you to look at something here. These are two of my wife's, and I love her to death, but yeah, I get her on her every day. But these are two of my wife's favorite publications. There's one of them. There's the recent issue of People. She subscribes to this. She got a 3-year subscription to that. And this rag here. We as a society seem to know and care more about what happens to Britney Spears than we do to what's happening in our own country, or the world for that matter. Um, it's a known fact that most people that are in their 20s and 30s could probably tell you everything that's happened to Britney Spears in the last year, but couldn't tell you who's running for president on either ticket, or things such as who the Speaker of the House is, who is the Senate Minority Leader, things like that, and that bugs me to a sense because people are just not informed. Now, people that have that type of mentality, before too long, you're going to pick up People, or you're going to pick up, sooner or later, you're going to see something on the presidential candidates in there. And you'll see something in National Enquirer, hopefully not, because usually that's the National Enquirer, all they're trying to do is just tear down people. But there was an article about John Edwards in the Enquirer back about 3 weeks ago. That's all that publication tends to want to do, is to tear people down. And so I guess what concerns me is when people go to the polls, are they going to make their decisions based on what they know that candidate represents? Or are they going to make their decision on what they see in People magazine, the National Enquirer, or other tabloids? And I hope, for the sake of this country, that when people go to the polls, they're making informed choices. Every one of these candidates, it's funny because I hear it on the radio all the time. that none of these candidates, especially on the Democratic side, because all I hear is the excuse me, the conservative talk shows, and all they do is say how certain candidates, you don't know where they stand on what issues and whatnot. Every candidate, Hillary, Obama, Edwards, all the Republican candidates, all have their plans and their ideas for America laid out on their website. You know, while I appreciate those who watch my videos for their entertainment, yeah, right, for their entertainment value, um, go to these websites, see what these candidates and where these candidates stand on the issues. It's all laid out. I can tell you right now that, you know, because I'm leaning left. I hate, yeah, well, you know, I haven't seen anything that's really impressed me too much on the from the Republican side, especially on my key issue, which is the health care reform. But you'll see, just for instance, on health care, you'll see that all three of the candidates favor a nationalized health care program. John Edwards, John Edwards is one of the few that actually agrees somewhat with what I have suggested, and that's a mandatory participation in healthcare. Now, getting off the tangent a little bit, in an ideal world, I'd like to see mandatory participation in a free market type health insurance program. I don't think that's on the table, and to tell you the truth, I don't think that the private sector, the health insurance market, is interested in covering every man, woman, and child, to be honest with you. So, anyhow, but yeah, I was off on a tangent. Like I said, I don't feel good. I'm sorry, but the just go to their websites. Go to each candidate's website. Not hard to find. You know, if you can find information on Britney Spears and Jamie Lynn Spears, if you can find information on that, you can find the information on what each candidate has as their idea for this country if they're elected. Now, folks, I'm going to leave it at that. I'll be back in the next day or so here to expunge on some other issues that are crossing my mind at this time. But folks, you have a great night, and we'll talk again soon. This is John Shannon, the Redneck Cabbie. Adios.